Is that possible when you're astral traveling to get trapped?
So you can definitely get very far away, and there is a possibility for entities to actually try and cut the cord that connects your astral body to your physical body. So that can be a little bit of a threat. There are also people who have done sort of psychedelics before, potentially maybe way too much acid, and they get separated or removed from their body for the rest of their life or for a long time. And sometimes that's like the flashbacks that people have as well. So obviously do all that stuff just with discernment and awareness.
I have heard that from psychedelics when they have a bad trip on acid. I never even thought that'd be the soul leaving the body though.
Yeah, exactly.
That makes
You're
sense.
kind of just stuck wandering in different dimensions. You know?
My gosh.
It's hard to come back. Yeah, it was just kind of scary.
That's super scary. Yeah, I don't do psychedelics anymore.
Yeah, I don't need to. So
yeah, I just feel like the risk to reward isn't there.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I believe that psychedelics or plant medicine is just a doorway, but we can get there ourselves. Through breath work, through deep states of meditation, we can unlock and release dimethyltryptamine in our own pineal glands. So why would we need an external stimulant to do that?
Yeah.
It's great, but it's not the finish line. Like we need to empower ourselves to know that we can do that.
Yeah. The body does release DMT when it dies though, the physical body, right?
Yeah, when we're born, when we die, and when we're in REM sleep. That's why when we can astral travel or lucid dream, that's when things get really trippy, is because we're in full conscious control of other dimensions.
Right.
Yeah.
Are you lucid dreaming often?
I used to all the time, and then it honestly gets exhausting because you're consciously awake in your living life, and then you're also consciously aware and awake in your dream life. So I remember all my dreams, but I don't necessarily need to control them anymore. I used to lucid dream every single night, and for me, that was a gateway to remote viewing.
That makes sense. Yeah, I heard that's like the first step, right?
That's a big step. Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah. Wow. So you still remember all your dreams today, though?
I do, yeah.
That's impressive.
Yeah.
'Cause you have like 6 to 8 a night, right?
There's a lot. Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah.
Have they been wild lately? Because mine have been
They've been
crazy.
so wild. Yeah. So I always say that a good determining factor for how close someone is to other dimensions and other realms is how often they remember their dreams. So if someone never remembers their dream, they're pretty anchored, they're pretty rooted in this reality, which is totally fine. Like there's no judgment. For someone who's very active in their dreams and wakes up remembering their dreams, they're a lot closer to those other dimensional realms than, say, this physical reality. So it would be a lot easier for that person to meditate, to visualize, and to work in the astral realms.
That makes a lot of sense because when I was atheist, I didn't remember my dreams.
Wow, that's really interesting.
Yeah, I could definitely see that when I was living with no purpose.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is kind of sad.
Yeah. I went through that phase. But you made a video on purpose. I thought it was cool. It was like the top 10 most common missions.
Yep, exactly.
Yeah, because a lot of people don't know their mission or purpose. So that's a good video to check out.
Yeah, it is. That's just on YouTube or my website. What's your purpose, your soul purpose, or your mission? And it's in my book too. I go through all of the soul missions in my book. You're not dying, you're just waking up. And I have remote viewed thousands of clients over many years. And this is what I've determined, right? These top 10. So
I didn't realize people could have the same one, same mission.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. But that mission can play out in so many different ways, right?
Yeah.
So if you're a healer, you could be a nurse or even a teacher, an elementary school teacher.
That makes sense because you're healing in different modalities.
Yep, exactly.
Is that the most common one, the healer?
Yeah, the healer is probably the most common one. And then we have the rebel as well, which is someone who wants to fight against the system. And I support those people 100% because someone needs to step in. Someone needs to...
That's Trump, right?
Yeah. Well, that's Trump, but then also all the people against Trump, like they have that rebel mission. Like they feel like there's an injustice being done and they want to stand up against it. So we have the right and the left side both have rebels in them and they're both rioting against each other. And I think the last time that astrologically we were in this sort of alignment, and I'm not an astrologer, was the Civil War of America. So this is kind of what we're seeing play out right now.
That's scary. There's a lot of war going on right now too.
Yeah.
Seems like it's never going to stop.
Yeah. It will. It'll get worse before it gets better, and we're just in that worst stage right now.
Yeah. You think we'll get world peace one day?
Yeah, I do. I absolutely do.
Wow.
Yeah.
It'd be beautiful.
Yeah, it would be.
Hasn't happened in what, thousands of years?
A long time. Yeah.
Okay. We'll be in another human body by then, probably.
Yeah. Or hopefully an ET body just off planet. That'd be great.
There's a direct link with autism and telepathy.
Yeah, I've heard that. People have been telling me that. That's so cool.
I mean, you're able to do telepathy yourself, but I guess if you have like severe autism, these kids are just doing it casually.
So tapped in. So, I've said, I actually have a video on my website called The New Humans. And I have like 5 different traits that new humans have. And one of the traits is being on the spectrum. So they're in a higher frequency. And when they come into this body, their brains don't function the same way that ours do. Same thing like people with ADHD, good indication that you're not functioning the same way that our school system is teaching you.
Right.
And that's why it's really tough to sit down at a desk and do what you're being told, because that's not how you function. Right. And so it's just fascinating. I definitely think, the chemicals and the heavy metals in our food and our air and our water aren't helping, and our vaccines aren't helping. But I do think that these new humans are coming in with a new vibration, and their bodies and their brains just aren't keeping up with their frequency. And telepathy is a huge part of that. Overstimulation is a huge part of that. They're very sensitive to sounds and tastes and smells. So it's hard for them to eat regular food all the time. It's hard for them to be out in public and hear all of the sounds of this world. They're just sensitive, and we're not teaching them properly.
Yeah. I mean, I have ADHD and I struggled in school. It was terrible.
Absolutely. Yeah.
I was jumping off the walls, getting in trouble.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. The autism rates are skyrocketing though. So that means we are headed towards more people having telepathy powers.
Yeah. And not only that, but we're heading towards reforming the education system to actually appropriately be able to handle and navigate these individuals who just think a different way. They're not wrong, they're not bad, but we do need a huge reformation in order to support them.
Yeah, absolutely.
Wherever you guys are watching this show, I would truly appreciate it if you follow or subscribe. It helps a lot with the algorithm. It helps us get bigger and better guests, and it helps us grow the team. Truly means a lot. Thank you guys for supporting, and here's the episode.